Estoy en la 1, 2, 1, 3. 3, o sea, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I've already said I won't find...
Vale, no puedo nada.
Yes, Fräulein.
Frau Schmidt, I am helping Monsieur Poirot in the investigation of Monsieur Ratchett's death.
Por favor, no le
Will you
que
assist me?
If I can.
May I have your passport?
Yeah, here it is.
So
You are Hildegard Schmidt, aged 43, living in St. Petersburg.
Where I attend Madame la Princesse, yeah.
I would like to fingerprint you.
If you must.
What can you tell me of your movements last night after dinner?
I moved very little. I read to the princess Bleak House by the English writer Charles Dickens. The sudden stopping of the train interrupted us. Madame la Princesse luckily was not harmed. I returned to reading. I do not read aloud very well, but Her Excellency says that it is all the better, so it sends her better to sleep. When she became sleepy, she told me to go. I returned to the compartment I share with Fräulein Debenham.
What time was that?
It was very late, 1:30 or more.
Tell me about Mary Debenham.
She is a very agreeable young lady. She was already asleep when I came in after reading to Her Excellency.
What color is Mademoiselle Debenham's dressing gown?
It is a pale purple. Mauve, I believe the English say.
Did Mademoiselle Debenham leave the room at all last night?
Not after I returned. I sleep lightly, Fräulein. You understand? Should Her Excellency require me.
Have you ever been to America?
No, never. I should like to go someday.
Do you know who this man Ratchett really was?
He was not Ratchett?
His name was Cassetti. He was responsible for the death of a small child named Daisy Armstrong.
My God! I have heard of that. The kidnapping. It was wicked. Wicked! We are not so wicked as that in Germany.
Bueno.
Is this your handkerchief, Frau Schmidt?
No, it is not mine.
It has the letter H, you see.
Ah, but it is a lady's handkerchief, that. A very expensive cambric handkerchief, embroidered by hand. It comes from Paris, I should say.
Did you see anyone as you returned to your compartment?
Only an attendant.
He was sitting at the end of the corridor.
No, Fräulein, he came out of one of the compartments in the middle. 2 or 3 doors from Madame la Princesse.
Was it Mrs. Hubbard's compartment?
It may have been.
But I saw him come out. You weren't in the corridor.
I most certainly was. He nearly ran into me, apologized, and hurried off in the direction of the salon car. A bell began ringing, but I do not think he answered it.
Then the bell started ringing?
Yes, Fräulein.
The attendant was Michel.
Our regular attendant. No, Fräulein.
What? What did he look like?
Small, dark. He had a little mustache. His voice, when he said "pardon," was weak and high-pitched, higher than mine. I'd never seen him before.
Good day to you, mademoiselle.
Por aquí. Esto va a mí. Ahí no veo un choto. ¡No! Cago.
Regardez, mademoiselle.
Eso que es
I
bueno, ¿no?
don't need anything.
Hello, miss. There is more snow coming, I think.
Greta, you know Monsieur Poirot has asked me to help him investigate the murder.
Yeah, I have heard this. It is satisfactory with you?
Very. Will you help me?
I will try.
May I have your passport, please?
It is here.
Greta Sigrid Olsen, 49, of Stockholm.
Of course, I am a missionary now, nurse at the school in Gemlik, and not much in Sweden.
You gave Mrs. Hubbard a headache powder last night.
Yeah, poor lady with the pain in the head.
That was around 10:40, I believe.
I am not sure.
Did you leave this compartment again after helping Monsieur Poirot?
His ankle is not so very injured, you know. I looked at it again this morning. I think he is not as brave as some of my little children.
After Monsieur Poirot.
I woke several times, of course, but it is because you were peeking out and leaving the compartment.
Uy, me vigilaba.
Not I.
After that?
When you finally settled down. No, I was very tired from all the activity. I slept. If I had gone out, would you not have noticed?
También te digo yo que es normal que se
I'm
levantara
not
porque,
sure. You were here in the lower berth.
porque si yo estoy en la letra de arriba
until the morning.
y yo voy bajando para mirar por la puerta, luego subo otra vez, luego bajo otra vez y otra vez subo, pues normal que esté despierta.
I do not know about that.
Entonces, mira, yo si
myself
hubiese sido la señora me hubiese cagado en la madre de atrás.
Your dressing gown is brown, is it not?
Yeah, you have seen it for yourself. Very comfortable, of Jaeger wool.
I would like to fingerprint you.
But of what am I accused?
Uy, la primera que se queja.
Nothing, it's only formality.
Oh, I am sorry. Please fingerprint me.
Did you see anyone in the corridor when you took Mrs. Hubbard the medicine?
Not in the corridor, no.
Somewhere else?
I opened the door to the dead man's compartment by mistake. Mr. Ratchet, I was much ashamed.
What did you and Mrs. Hubbard talk about?
The pain in her head, it started at the back and sweep itself forward over her eyes and...
Anything else?
She asked me if the door between her compartment and Mr. Ratchet's is locked. I check it for her.
And?
It is locked.
Did you actually see him?
Yeah, in his bed he was, reading a book.
Did he say anything to you?
He laughed. He invited me. I do not care to repeat what he said. It
Me imagino ver qué.
cheeks. I left at once naturally and went into Mrs. Hubbard.
That means you were the last person to see Monsieur Ratchet alive.
I am suspected of all the people aboard the train. I am suspected.
Uy.
Have you ever been in America?
No. Almost I go once. I was to accompany an invalid lady, but it was cancelled. I much regret it. They are very generous, the Americans.
Bueno, si supiera que eso ya
They give much money to
ha cambiado mucho.
schools and hospitals.
Se le queda una cara que
Very
gratificada.
practical.
Do you remember hearing of the Armstrong kidnapping case?
No. What was that?
A little girl was kidnapped and murdered. Her mother and an unborn child died in childbirth. A member of the staff committed suicide. Monsieur Ratchet was the man behind the kidnapping.
That there are in the world such evil men. It tries one's faith. The poor mother. My heart aches for her.
Good day to you, mademoiselle.
Aquí era... No. ¿Y la caja esa? A ver, espérate. No. Era 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. Pero claro, este no... No, este no me va a dejar tomar la huella. ¿O sí?
Ah, you return.
Pues no.
And that is every...
We progress.
The valet masterman says Ratchet took less than his normal sleeping draft.
So, instead of a comatose Ratchet who would not struggle when the knife began its work, we have a Ratchet who might cry out.
But after the cry, I heard Ratchet tell Michelle that there was nothing wrong. Monsieur McQueen saw the woman in the scarlet kimono.
But not enough to identify her. And he says he saw Michelle coming from the direction of the salon car. Or at least someone in an attendant's uniform.
Hildegard Schmidt saw an attendant leaving a
Va a ir
compartment.
diciéndole esto que aquí así me lo voy
One of
quitando.
the middle
Pero si no, luego vas a hacerte esto muy
Either
muy largo.
Ratchet's or Madame Hubbard's. And his description? No, it is not Pierre Michel, this small dark man with a moustache who speaks in the high voice.
No, but he matches the description Ratchet gave Hartman of his enemy. McQueen is the son of the district attorney involved in the Armstrong case.
Pardon, district attorney? What
¿No
is
sabe
that?
qué es eso?
Some sort
No
of
juega
police
a
official, I
Phoenix
believe.
Wright.
Thank you most kindly, Monsieur Poirot.
Aquí no puedo coger huella, ¿en serio? Supongo que no. Aquí supongo que se puede coger
The body was...
en la ventana. Mira,
Quite interesting.
pero ¿cómo cojo la huella de aquí? Es que tiene que ser con esto. Y como las huellas son de color negro, yo supongo que es con el carbón, pero no... A lo mejor rompiendo el carbón con un martillo.
I smashed the lump of
Vale.
coal into a fine powder.
Y ahora esto... Qué raro suena, ¿no? Porque en el otro juego, en el primero lo hicimos con la harina.
Formidable.
Cuentagotas para abajo, lleno de polvo de carbón. Y ahora ponemos como ejemplo esto, a ver si tiene huella.
Wait, that is how Poirot would have done it.
Y luego sé con el celo. Que lo hicimos en el primer juego también. Aquí.
I obtained a clear print and have filed it.
Perfecto. Y algo más con lo que podamos. La voy a poner aquí. Reloj de bolsillo de plata. ¿Puede que con esto?
Something is wrong.
No. Voy a la primera página. Con el vaso. Vale.
Formidable.
El vaso. ¿Dónde está mi cuenta otra vez? ¿Dónde está el cuenta gota? Vale. El vaso... Hemos hecho el vaso, los zapatos. El hacha a lo mejor. Le deja aquí.
Those don't work together.
Vale, tengo que quitarlo.
I can't get them to fit. Those don't work.
Las llaves.
Something is wrong here.
La estatua esta.
I can't get them to fit.
Vale. Que viste tú aquí y se me ha quitado. ¿El arma?
Something is wrong here.
Mira, con el candado, ¿no?
Oui, that is how Poirot would have done.
En todo caso, yo creo que lo voy a probar con todo. Con todo lo que... A ver. Sería rota. Cago en todo, se me quita esto.
Those don't work together.
Vale.
Something is wrong here.
Con el libro este.
I can't get them to fit.
Hace calor. Literalmente
Those
tengo
don't
una calor
work
que me estoy
together.
muriendo.
I can't get them to fit.
¿Este era el que tiene la sangre?
Those don't work together.
No, el otro.
Oui, that is how Poirot would have done it.
Perfecto. Ay, no, lo he quitado. Cago en todo.
Does nothing strike you as odd about what...
Ese señor. ¿Dónde está? Aquí. Ah, vale, esto ya está.
I can't get them.
¿El libro este?
Something is wrong. Those don't work.
No.
Something is wrong. Those don't. I can't get them to fit.
Y la pasta.
Something is wrong here.
Pues no. Vale, pues con todas las pruebas que hemos pillado, cogemos el celo, el fiso, y si me acuerdo cuál eran las pruebas que este.
I obtained a clear print and have filed it.
Prefiero el primer menú, el del primer juego.
I obtained a clear print and have filed
Yo
it.
supongo que acá que tenga que estar todo el rato cogiendo esto así. He cogido el cuchillo. Candado.
I obtained a clear print and have filed it.
¿Y cuál me falta? A lo mejor en el puro puedo coger huellas.
I can't.
Pues no. Pantalla, ¿no? Cuello todo. Vale. Aquí.
A fingerprint. I need some.
Cojo este.
I obtained a clear print and have filed it.
Vale, hasta luego.
I've already said.
Hombre.
Well, it's about time, I must say. Here I am with information that will solve your mystery for you, and it's hours before you show up. You aren't helping that famous detective, or whatever he is, aren't you?
Yes, madam, I have that honor.
Esta señora me da
I
muy
would
mal
think you'd be
rollo.
more on your toes. In America, the police would have arrested the culprit by now on my evidence.
Then let us proceed without delay. May I have your passport, please?
My passport? What do you want my passport for? I'm the witness, not the murderer. What is wrong with you people in this country?
This is Yugoslavia, madam. I am French.
That's what I said.
Your passport. Thank you. You are Caroline Martha Hubbard of
Cuando
Great
alguien se niega a
Neck,
darte el
is it?
pasaporte,
Long Island?
That's
Por
what
algo
it
es.
says, doesn't it?
You are traveling to Paris to meet your daughter?
Yes, that I'm supposed to sail for home the day after tomorrow. Though, how can I do that stuck here? I'll never know.
Did you hear any sounds coming from Monsieur Ratchett's room?
Well, earlier I'd asked that Swedish lady, Mrs. Olson, if she had anything for a headache. She's a nurse, you know.
Yes, I know.
Poor soul. Looking for my room, she'd opened the door to Mr. Ratchett's compartment by mistake. He laughed and said something not very nice, I think. But I couldn't make it out. She said, "Oh, I make a mistake. I ashamed to make a mistake," in that bizarre accent of hers. And he laughed again and said something about her being too old. The idea. My late husband, Mr. Hubbard, and I enjoyed conjugal relations right up to the very end.
Anything else?
After that, I heard snoring. Quite loud, like an airplane engine revving up.
What color is your dressing gown?
What an odd question. I have 2 dressing gowns, if you must know. A pink flannel that's kind of cozy on board ship, and a purple silk number that my late husband, Mr. Hubbard, gave me. But what in creation do you want to know that for?
Someone in a scarlet kimono was seen coming out of either your compartment or Monsieur Ratchett's. It is very difficult to tell sometimes which is which when all the doors are closed.
Well, it wasn't mine.
Then it must have been Monsieur Ratchett's.
That wouldn't surprise me any. I thought I heard a voice in there.
I would like to
ya ahora que
fingerprint
se
you.
queja.
What do you have there?
A ver.
A typewriter ribbon? You're going to smear ink from that on my fingers?
That was my intention.
And how do you plan to clean that mess off afterwards?
I have something to clean your hands with.
Cocktail napkins? Good gracious, sweetie. What kind of fleabag investigation are you conducting here anyway?
I appreciate your cooperation. Was it a woman you heard in Monsieur Ratchett's room?
Yes, I think it was.
Did you hear what was said?
Well, I didn't put a glass up to the connecting door and eavesdrop, for heaven's sakes. What sort of a person do you think I am?
When was it you heard this voice?
I have no idea. Sometime after the snoring died.
Was it before or after the train stopped?
After the man in my room that you have so far failed to ask me about. I woke up, heard the voice, and that was that.
Tell me about the man you thought was in your room.
At last! No offense intended, sweetie, but you foreigners do just about everything backwards.
The man?
Well, I was in bed. I woke up. All in the dark it was. And I knew, I tell you, that there was a man in there with me.
In your bed?
In my what? How dare you? No, in my compartment. I was just so scared I couldn't scream. I just lay there and thought, mercy, I'm going to be killed by some foreigner. These nasty trains. I just lay there with my eyes closed and thought of America. Somehow I got my wits about me and I felt about with my hand and I felt.
Yes?
The bell button. I pressed it and pressed, but no one came. I thought, mercy, what if they'd murdered every single soul on the train? I went on pressing the bell, and at last, footsteps in the corridor. I dragged on my dressing gown, the pink one. I screamed, "Come in!" and switched on the lights, and would you believe it? There wasn't a soul there.
Michel opened your door and entered.
Yes, although considering the time it took him to arrive, he must have come by dog sled. He seemed to imagine I dreamt the whole thing. I tell you here and now, I'm not one to imagine things.
Michel searched your compartment.
Yes, even under the chair. Although he said there wasn't room for a man to squeeze himself under there. I asked him to check the connecting door.
Was it bolted?
No, but I knew it had been because I asked the Swedish lady to check it when she brought me the headache powder.
Before Michel arrived, did either door open and close?
Sweetie, my eyes were squeezed shut tighter than a banker's fist. I didn't see. And with the bell making all that racket, the intruder could have dynamited a hole in the wall, and I wouldn't have heard it.
Do you remember the Armstrong kidnapping?
I'll say I do. How that wretch that did it escaped scot-free, I'll never understand. I'd have liked to get my hands on him.
You could have, madam, when the connecting door was unbolted.
You mean Ratchet was the man?
Yes, his real name was
Se la
Cassetti.
va a contar todo el
Well,
mundo.
imagine that. Wait till I tell my daughter.
Were you acquainted with the Armstrong family?
Well, they were from New York, too. But no, they moved in a very exclusive circle. I've always heard that Mrs. Armstrong was a perfectly lovely woman and that her husband worshipped her. It was all incredibly sad.
I would like to dust the doorknob of the connecting door for fingerprints.
My, aren't you the little improviser? Be my guest, sweetie. Search the whole place if you'd like.
O
I
sea,
need
la
a
puerta
drink.
de los baños. Busco el agua ya.
Mrs. Hubbard, wait. You dropped this.
That's not mine.
I thought as it has the initial H on it.
I've got mine right here. See? It's marked CMH, and it's a sensible thing, not that flimsy, expensive Parisian cambric. What good is a hanky you can't sneeze into?